I'm Jamie, aka Scumboy.
I'm Andrew Walsh, aka Bat Phantom.
I'm Kevin, aka Neon Nazgul from the Operation Pug Podcast.
A proud member of the Gonna Geek Network.
Just like the show you're listening to now.
The opinions expressed are those of each individual host.
Check out all the podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
And get ready because geekiness begins in 3,
2,
1.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 292 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. It is the final podcast of 2017.
I mean, are you throwing down that gauntlet right now? There's no other shows?
It is the only one I know of on the Gonna Geek Network that is streaming live today.
In
the only one that counts.
And isn't it technically tomorrow in some parts of the world?
They don't count.
Yeah. This is America. We're the only ones that... No, not really. Don't quote me on that. Please don't quote me on that.
Chris said America.
Waggle crotch. If you're there, do a quote for him like you did a quote for me.
So like I was saying, welcome everyone to episode 292 of the show. We do not have the whole crew here today. If you're a long-time viewer, you've probably looked at the bottom of the screen and said, wait a second, where's Naki? Well, Naki got the plague because this is that time of year where everyone gets the plague because you're traveling and visiting friends and family and you get exposed to all that crap you never do. So you spend half your holiday sick and it sucks.
Family sucks.
Friends of what are you talking about? I'm a hermit, motherfucker. I talk to you guys through the internet.
Yeah, well, so you didn't go and do anything for your Christmas?
That's why you're not sick.
I did. It was a joke. Jesus Christ.
I was just checking. I was curious. I was like, man, we got to find Willie an adventure to go on then.
Haven't I had plenty of adventures?
Yeah, you
Apparently
did.
not.
I heard you had a long hike this week.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that because that was spectacular. I will talk about a customer yesterday. I knew these people existed, but I never thought I would ever see this type of person in my life.
Uh-oh.
What's some of the worst type of people that you can think of? Bachman, don't be racist.
Well, that just takes away my answer. Shit.
No, Naki's not here, so I can't get him. And I already put on that joke.
Oh, Jesus.
The worst type of people are the self-righteous, indignant type of people that think they know everything.
Okay, I'll give you
Fuck
that.
you, I know everything.
Exactly. Chris is a shitty customer.
I know. I'm the worst.
Well, no, they weren't a shitty customer. It's like they were wearing a T-shirt that instantly made me think, oh, you're a fucking retard.
Oh.
Don't get angry at me for that word because that word was made to not be offensive.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess context. I do kind of feel bad about saying that. Yeah, I'm going to retract that. But anyway, yeah, fuck this customer. Yeah, it was a flat earther.
Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus.
My favorites.
He came in with a shirt of a flat earth and it said truth on the bottom of it. I was like,
oh my God.
I hate him already.
I was looking at his
I would have trouble dealing with a customer like that. That would be tough.
It was so hard not to break out laughing. I did get a picture of it.
Although I do like Draftsman's answer, Twilight fans.
No, I mean, because you can always go a degree worse than 50 Shades fans.
Oh, God.
This
is what he just said in the chat room.
Yeah.
More 50 Shades fans.
You guys are in sync.
But the problem with his shirt was that I don't know if they didn't get together and they all had a conference. They should have had a conference or something, to agree on what the flat Earth should look like. Most of them say that the North Pole's at the center. Antarctica is all around the outside. From what I hear, these weird people. But this guy's shirt, it was like if you're looking at world map, like a flat rectangular world map, and just like circle. So it's like, Jesus, get your shit together, man.
Well, if they're flat earthers, it's not together to begin with, I don't think. Because I don't know how you deny... Okay, never mind. There's a lot of people that deny science right now.
It's all right. People can deny science all they want. The people that think the Earth is flat and the other planets are round are the dumbest fucking people walking and should not be allowed to procreate.
But you also know they don't believe in gravity, right?
They don't believe in all sorts of stuff, and they're too fucking stupid to live.
Because the flat Earth is moving at 9.8 meters per second squared upwards. That's what's giving us the downward push.
Yeah, that's not true at all.
Yeah, they even came up with terminal velocity.
Fucking morons.
I'm so confused now. I really am.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Yeah. Flat earthers.
It's shaped like a burrito, says Sailor Poland. The Earth is not flat and it's not round. It's shaped like a burrito.
Now I want a burrito.
I mean, it just makes me question, like, how come sometimes in the afternoon you can still see the moon right there? Like, but then you still see the sun. If the moon was below the sun to do the solar eclipses, then how come you still see the light from the sun on the moon? It makes no fucking sense.
Of course it doesn't.
Look, I just can't get past the fact that the Earth looks like a
moron.
burrito, and now all I want is a breakfast burrito with bacon in it.
Oh, and I have exactly one of those in my fridge waiting for me as soon as we're done with this
Those are
bullshit.
so good. I was going to have a bagel this morning, but I lost track of time because, like I was bitching about earlier, snow and things like that I had to deal with.
Were you out shoveling this morning?
I was shoveling this morning.
You didn't have to do that.
Well, I did, because I'm liable if someone slips and falls on my steps.
Why is anyone going to be on your steps besides you?
Because people are assholes.
Put a sign that says no trespassing.
Trespassers
Will be shot on sight.
Trespassers will be mocked mercilessly. I can't shoot people. That's against the law.
Well,
That depends on the state.
It's West Virginia. I'm sure they're pretty lax.
That's true. We actually have had a problem in our neighborhood of people breaking into stuff lately, though, too. So,
Oh, then you could definitely get away with it.
well, thankfully
It's
not
coming
my
right for
house,
us.
because I live right by the main entrance to the community. So literally, people drive by my house all night long. It's a lot harder to do something to my stuff. But the people on the back end of our loop have had some issues where people have been breaking in. So you've got like Nest Cam pictures of them and Ring Cam pictures of them that have been posted everywhere. And now it's like a manhunt, I guess. I don't think they found them yet. But they did post all the shit to Facebook.
Like the movie from the 80s, Manhunter.
I don't know that movie.
It was like
It's-
first. It was the first
It's
one
the
with Hannibal
original
Lecter.
version of Red Dragon.
Was it Michael Mann? I
Yeah.
believe. It was
And
a good movie.
a different actor playing Hannibal Lecter.
Brian Cox. Give him the man the due.
That's right, it was Brian Cox, yeah.
What was
And I love
Striker? That's what it from.
I love Brian Cox, but it shows you exactly how good of a job fucking Anthony Hopkins did.
Sir.
Because I wasn't scared of fucking Brian Cox as Hannibal Lecter.
Sir.
I'm scared
Anthony
of
Hopkins.
Sir Anthony Hopkins.
But even in the book, it was like a very minor role. They didn't really bring him out to like Silence of the Lambs, right?
Yeah, Silence of the Lambs, yeah, because it was him, and yeah, he made the role insane.
Well, I mean, even the book wasn't even out by then, so he didn't really have an exaggerated backstory.
Works for me. I vaguely remember that now. I never watched it, but I vaguely remember it. I have seen, all of the Anthony Hopkins Hannibal Lecter movies as I drop a bunch of stuff on my desk. Oh, boy. I'm so out of rhythm, guys. We shouldn't have taken a week off because now I don't know how to progress through things.
That's what
I
I'm
blame
saying.
all of you with families. I
was ready to go ahead.
You guys could have done it without me, I guess. You guys can run the board next time.
No.
With my shitty internet, you want me to host this?
It would take 4 hours because Willie's trying to hit buttons.
Yeah.
I'm pressing all the buttons.
He'd press a button, there'd be a 30-second delay. We'd sit and wait for it. No.
My sex doll pops out from the ceiling like, no, that's the wrong button.
Why do you have it in the ceiling?
Spider-Man sex.
Oh, fair enough. I was just curious. So your sex doll's a dude.
No, I mean, like, no, you have sex like you're Spider-Man. You're climbing on the side. I got like little handholds up there. You know?
Nope, it's a dude.
Hey, a hole's a hole. I mean, I don't care.
As long as you got enough
Especially
lube,
with
I
a
guess.
sex doll, it doesn't matter.
Close your eyes. It don't matter if it's a dude or not. Your dick's still getting sucked.
Now there's the one someone needs to make a video of.
Somebody feel free to clip that in Twitch right now. You should be able to just hit that clip button. And while you're doing that, we're going to progress into the news of the week.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
So the news of the week is that part of the show where we run down what's in our minds the most interesting geeky or nerdy news to have dropped in the last week. And hey, I don't know if you guys realized, it's the week between Christmas and New Year's. Not much is going on, so we don't have the most exciting news here, but there's some news that's well worth conversation on, especially Willie's story when we get to it. Well, let's start with
you read it.
I did read it. I read ahead on some of these things. Let's start with something that's kind of good news that kind of brings a smile to my face, and let's talk about the Han Solo spin-off movie that's coming out, because we know how much Willie D. Nelson loves him some Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
I like The Force Awakens. I didn't love it, but I thought it was a good movie. But
That's
Jesus Christ, man. This last movie was shit, and you know it.
Whoa! We weren't even going to talk about that. We were going to talk about the Solo spin-off.
You are wrong.
The slowest car chase ever. Let's make that the middle of the movie. This is awesome.
You're fired.
Fuck you.
Well,
let's go to the casino planet. It doesn't even matter.
Well,
it's just boring.
That's part of the story in here is that sometimes shit doesn't work out right. That being said, the casino planet I thought was a little overdone. That could have been shorter and trimmed down. But that's neither here nor there.
I read a
just
write-up on
saying.
that fully explains why the casino planet is important.
No, everything could have been saved if they just didn't fucking park on the goddamn beach like assholes and just said, hey, there's a lot over there. Let's park in the lot. Boom. Everything would have been solved.
That's not the story Ryan Johnson was telling. Everything
Ryan
could have
Johnson
been
was
saved.
telling a shit story.
The whole story could have been saved if Luke hadn't gone into hiding and just kept making more Jedis before The Force Awakens. But that's a different fucking story.
Or if Luke hadn't succumbed to human emotion at one point in time. And
I do
ruined
kind of like the way he
everything.
put that. He was making more Jedi.
Exactly. 3 movies would have been a lot shorter if they didn't answer the fucking phone. But that's not the fucking story they were telling.
Wait.
So.
That would have been a better movie. Luke Skywalker, Jedi space pimp.
So, okay, let's talk about The Last Jedi for a second then. Let's shelve the news of the week for a second.
He would have been the whore. Han would have been his pimp. Come on. We know Han would have been the one pimping him out.
Han's the one has more holes in him. Ba-doom-dooch.
Okay,
Too
that's fair.
soon.
That's fair. That's fair. So let's talk Last Jedi for a second here. And I completely lost the point I was going to make because Willie told the holes joke. It's a movie about failure. Now, I think why some people have a hard time with this movie is because everything falls apart, nothing goes right, and a lot of the mystery that was set up in The Force Awakens just kind of gets swept away. Like, remember, all of us fanboys, a lot of fanboys were like, how did Snoke come into being? Is he Darth Plagueis? Is he a clone of Palpatine? It doesn't really matter because, spoiler alert, he dies halfway through the movie and is irrelevant to things. And then there's the mystery
irrelevant.
The mystery
I
of...
need to know this.
Well, you do and you don't, I guess.
No.
I mean, I'm sure they're going to fill
You
it in
don't.
at some point, but... And then
The
there's
Sith have the rule of 2. There was
They're not Sith, though.
And there's Palpatine. And
At
then
what point?
Go on.
At what point did Snoke say he was Sith?
Yeah, he's not Sith.
At what point?
He's using the Dark Jedi power, the Sith power,
No.
so I'm assuming he's Sith. He's using
No.
Force electricity.
At no point are they described as Sith in The Force Awakens or The Last Jedi. So because the kid grabs the broomstick with the fucking Force, he's automatically a Jedi? No, he's a Force user.
Well, he's got about as much training as Rey
Sith
does.
can use the same power, so
Exactly.
he's a Force user. I never said that. Because
No, but just
Sith can
because
also
they're
do the
Force
Force-
users doesn't make them Sith or Jedi. Kylo Ren is not a Sith because he fucking left the Jedi.
He's a Knight of Ren,
Yeah, that's why they came with their own shit.
which I have a separate
fine, I'll
thing
give you
on,
that
but-
one.
So I think what a lot of people struggle with in this is all of the mystery and the mythos that was built up. Yeah, that kind of got swept away as it doesn't matter. They told a story where the mythos that was built up and the mystery, it doesn't really matter. But there's also a matter of, do you trust Kylo Ren when he tells Rey, or your parents are nobodies? I tend to think it's probably the truth because they're trying to make a point of being like, hey, let's get the story away from being about the Skywalkers.
Well, and because in Star Wars, the bad guys don't lie.
That's true.
The story always progresses by the bad guys telling the truth and then the good guys not wanting to believe it.
And I tend to agree with something Sailor Poland said in the chat room. He goes, Last Jedi tries to move the whole Star Wars universe forward. Force Awakens maintained the status quo. Everyone bitched that Force Awakens didn't do enough. Now they bitch that Last Jedi does too much.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I just thought it was boring. That's all.
I thought that there were stretches where I got a little bored too, but I enjoyed it for the most part, but it's one of those movies I had to sit and let it digest for a couple days before I really knew how I felt about it. I kind of walked out and I was like, what did I just watch? What just happened?
Well, yeah, 'cause
The slowest chase ever.
it ends on such a powerful moment. It's like, well, fuck, I'm not sure if I'm happy about that or not. But yeah, I loved it. It was good stuff. It's not my favorite Star Wars film, but I fucking enjoyed the hell out of it. And it's definitely a Rian Johnson movie. That was what I thought was very important, because people have been, talking trash about the fact that Kathleen Kennedy and them think, saying that those people just shut any director down if they try to put their stamp on something. But it's very evident that this was not a fucking George Lucas film. And this was not a J.J. Abrams film. Like, this was a Rian Johnson movie, and it felt very different. Yeah, I enjoyed it because it wasn't just a cookie cutter.
It was different, and it moves things forward, and it changes how everything's laid out. I like that. Now, some of the stuff that's going to be very tough for them is the fact that with Carrie Fisher passing, you can obviously tell that Episode 9 was set up to be much more with Leia, it seemed like, considering the movie ends with her front and center on camera. I don't know how they're going to get around that. I don't know if there's going to be a time jump of a few years forward and they'll have had the character die in a raid or something like that. Because remember, between episodes 7 and 8, we've gone the span of 4 days? 5 days, I think?
I thought it was like right after.
No. Like, if we start with episode 7 and go through episode 8, we've gone 4 days total, I think.
Okay. I got
4 or 5 days.
Yeah. Those two movies is like a week in Star Wars. Because, fucking, Finn was only, laid out on that bed long enough for that lightsaber wound on his back to heal. So he was only down for like a day or two.
I mean, and it stopped with her handing him the lightsaber, and it started with him going, fuck this shit.
Which
was instant.
Which was in a moment where you went, okay, they're obviously not going to do what we thought. And part of why I think some people also have trouble with this is we built up our expectations of what was going to happen. A lot of it was the fan theories, and a lot of it was, Luke's going to come in, they're going to get Luke to come back, and he's going to go and wreck face, and he's going to help resurrect the Jedi. Well, sort of, but not really. You get Force Ghost Luke, basically, who goes and sacrifices himself to save the Resistance.
And Force Dice.
And Force Dice, yes.
That's true.
What the fuck is Force Dice? Really?
I do love crotchety old man Luke, though. As someone that's about to be 40, I love the fact that Mark Hamill got to play. I'm the crotchety old hermit now, and I'm gonna fuck with you the way Yoda fucked with me.
Yeah, and I don't like the people that are attacking Mark Hamill for coming out and be like, well, this wasn't really my Luke Skywalker at first, and then him feeling he needs to apologize for talking about that. No, you should say what you want to on that one. Fans are getting way too angry on this, and you've got a bunch of asshole fans out there. Oh, Rotten Tomatoes is full of shit. Here's my petition to get Rotten Tomatoes shut down. You're coming off like the worst of the DC Universe fanboys when Batman v Superman came out. So calm your shit. Just enjoy the fact that we got a Star Wars movie. If it's not what you wanted, that's fine. It's not always going to live up to your expectations. But we got a movie that changes up the dynamic of Star Wars completely. And I can understand why some people are uncomfortable with that, but it's interesting.
Yeah. Well, and Mark Hamill, he's lived with that character for 50 years. He's been Luke Skywalker. Like, there were decades where he was nothing but Luke Skywalker because he was typecast and he couldn't do anything else. And so, yeah, the idea that in the first movie back, he didn't really do anything other than take his hood off. And so in the second movie back where he actually gets to do something, he wasn't, really comfortable with Rian Johnson's direction for his character. Fair enough. Like, he's allowed to have his opinion as an actor. It's not like he stood on set and told Rian Johnson to go fuck himself. I'm not going to do it. He made the damn movie.
Well, and if you read the interviews that he's done on it, he talked about how it's all a collaborative back and forth between him and Rian Johnson, and that's how they find the vision of the character based off what he thought when Rian Johnson thought in that path forward. I think his comment got overblown by people who didn't like the film because of how it changed their expectations of the Star Wars universe and became a rallying cry for people like, even Mark Hamill doesn't like it, and he had to be like, no, that's not what I meant.
Yeah. Oh, people, yeah, they always want to find and focus on something negative, which is just sad.
Yeah, it's a different kind of movie, and I'm curious what it means for the future of the Star Wars universe. Now, I don't know what it means because now you got J.J. Abrams coming back to do Episode 9 now, and I tend to agree with a lot of people that felt that Episode 7 was just a rehash, a feel-good story of, okay, let's get the story started up again, but let's call back to everything we've seen before. And now we've flipped everything on its head. So what does JJ do with Episode 9? That's what I'm
Well, for one
about.
thing, he gives us Supreme Emperor Kylo Ren. I want to see Adam Driver in a gold outfit. He already got rid of his helmet.
I want to see the Knights of Ren finally come into play.
I'm just going to say Kylo Ren was not wrong at the end of the movie. Rey should have went with him and said, hey, let's just restart this whole shit in our own image. Go for it. Don't be fucking evil. That's it. Done. Hey, Resistance. You're good.
Yeah, but the question is...
They're in charge. What does it matter?
Well, they're in charge-ish. There's still remnants of the Republic out there. I mean, remember, the Republic just fell. So who knows what's going to happen. And a lot of it depends on what the time jump is between Episode 8 and 9. If we jump forward a couple years, you could have, okay, First Order's pretty much taken over the galaxy, but the Resistance has finally started to get pockets of people involved in doing stuff. Though I tend to agree with Lily Futaku that Kylo can't lead for shit.
No, he can lead great. He just leaves like a spoiled brat who throws tantrums.
Yes.
That's not great at all.
He is certainly not Darth Vader. Say what you want about Anakin, who was a petulant child at times. Once he became Vader, he was a very different kind of character in person. And
Kylo's not going to have those type of tactics.
What, subtle?
Or
patient.
any?
I was going to say patient, really, because if you go and look at Vader, he became very patient after he lost everything and became Darth Vader.
Well, when you lose your legs, life kind of slows down a little bit.
There is that, I suppose. So,
remember the last time you were impatient, motherfucker, and it cost you an arm and 2 legs? Quit being an asshole.
I can't help it.
and I also agree with something Sailor Poland said, too. He's more excited and apprehensive about Guardians of the Galaxy 3 than anything Star Wars. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where they're going to go with things. And I guess a lot of that depends on what comes out of Infinity War. And that's still just a teeming pile of, I don't know what the hell's going to go on, but I'm excited.
What I'm excited for is we get Black Panther, and then we get Avengers Infinity War, and then we get Ant-Man and the Wasp. So that means that we get the one other character going. So what had happened was, and he gets to retell us Infinity War.
Yes.
That's what I want.
That's going to be awesome.
I want him telling Michael Douglas what happened to Ant-Man during Infinity War.
I heard from my cousin who has a neighbor
exactly
who's dating this one guy.
I want Michael Pena doing a breakdown of the fucking entire Avengers Infinity War and the fight with Thanos.
Bring back the one-shots just for that.
That might be better than Infinity War.
Yeah. That's quite possible. But now that we took our aside to go talk about Star Wars The Last Jedi like we meant to do earlier, let's go back into our news of the week and let's talk about Star Wars again. Let's talk about the Han Solo spinoff we know is coming. We know that it's rumored to have had a troubled production schedule. People have concerns. There was some supposedly leaked promotional art that came out in Russia that was debunked as not being accurate. There's been stories that Alden Ehrenreich they had to hire an acting coach for because he wasn't very good in the role. We know the director controversy. Well, here's some good news we've got coming forward. It's a bit unusual, but John Williams is going to write the theme for the upcoming standalone film. Just the theme, and in his own words, he says, if they're happy about it, meaning the other composer, John Powell, and director Ron Howard, Powell will use it as the basis for his score. So John Williams is going to come up with the main theme for Solo, hand it over to the other composers, and they're going to go from there. So I'm excited for that. John Williams has not lost his touch. The soundtrack to Star Wars The Last Jedi is freaking awesome. So yeah, let's get his theme.
Force Awakens. Yeah.
He hasn't lost it at all. So let's give him all of the Star Wars work that he wants, and if he's interested in contributing in anything, let him do it. So I'm really curious to see what the Han Solo theme ends up being and how it influences John Powell and the rest of his score for the movie. It's a minor little thing, but there's so much negativity around the Solo spinoff right now. People are it's gonna suck. I didn't like The Last Jedi. This is gonna suck because of all the stories about it. Let's try and find some positivity. Yes, we can be a little apprehensive that it might not turn out how it's being expected, but positivity, guys. It could be perfectly good. At the very least, we've got Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian, and that's going to be freaking awesome.
We got Donald Glover, who looks awesome in the poster, and we got Emilia Clarke, who has kicked ass in everything she's done.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. John Williams was born in 1932. That dude is 85.
Yeah, he's an older
The fact
guy.
that he's still working, let him do what he wants, because he's fucking fantastic.
Well, and like Low Life Otaku just said in the chat room, John Williams is basically a license to print money.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine that guy's had to work for the past 40 years. I think he works because he enjoys working. I'm pretty sure once the original Star Wars movies came out, he didn't have to work anymore.
Yeah, and go look at like his what's the term? Discography, I think is the term for everything. He's done a crap load of iconic scores.
Yeah, 'cause, he did Jurassic Park, didn't he?
He did Jurassic Park. He did Harry Potter, Schindler's List. Sorry, I was just pulling it up on.
Back to the Future.
No, that was Hans Zimmer, I think.
Hans Zimmer did that one.
He did A Fiddler on the Roof for the motion picture
Superman.
in '71.
Superman.
He did the Superman, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Jaws.
E.T., Schindler's List.
Yep. E.T.
Yeah, the dude has done some insanely talented soundtracks and songs.
Yeah, go and just look. And I think he did Apollo 13 also, but I'm not sure.
I've never seen it.
He did Hook. He did JFK, Jurassic Park.
Hook.
Saving Private
Bang
Ryan.
rang, motherfucker.
Don't forget, he did the soundtrack for Stepmom in 1998. That great Julia Roberts movie.
Wow.
AI, Artificial Intelligence, with Spielberg in 2001. All of the Harry Potter early movies. Minority Report. Dude, the guy has done so much. His discography is huge.
He worked on Family Plot, which, if I remember correctly, was the last Hitchcock film.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the Richard Donner Supermans, Saving Private Ryan. Like, yeah.
So yeah,
The dude's amazing.
Disney's making the right call here by being like, hey, John Williams, why don't you do the theme to the Solo spin-off movie? Let's have you do that, and then we'll use that to inspire the rest of it. It's interesting there. See in the chat room now regarding Stepmom. Well, you can't hit a home run every time.
It's true.
And just to wrap up, Solo, a Star Wars story, is set to come out May 25th, 2018. So we're 5 months out.
Yay! There's so many fucking good movies coming out next year.
Like I was saying, we don't know if Solo's going to be good. Sorry, just kidding around. It's Star Wars. I'll go and see it. It should be
Donald
good.
Glover as a space pimp. I don't care how bad that the Equwise kid is as Han.
Yeah.
Donald Glover as a space pimp. I'm in.
Is he like Billy D and going to be cooler than the other side of a pillow?
Oh, I'm betting.
Billy D. Williams is a smooth MFer. And I hope they get him in episode 9. I don't think it's going to happen, but...
From what I heard, he was supposed to be in the casino in episode 8.
They just
and
couldn't
I
fit it
guess...
in.
Well, no, I guess he's having trouble like remembering dialogue and doing stuff just because Billy D's getting up there.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, the problem was more of a performance issue from what I heard. That's rumor, but...
See,
yeah,
I'd
I
heard
guess
Ryan
they tried-
Johnson didn't have space for him in the film, so...
I heard they tried to get him in that scene, and he was having troubles. I guess he might be. I'm not sure if it might be early stage dementia or something, or he's actually he's having troubles.
So before we move on to the next story, a question from the chat room: how do we feel about the new Jurassic Park movie coming out? Thoughts after seeing the trailer?
I'll see.
I don't think I've watched the full trailer yet. Did they do a full trailer, or is it just the teaser that's
They did
out?
the full trailer, I think. I don't know. In all honesty, I haven't seen Jurassic World yet, so it didn't really mean much to me until I see Jurassic World. Yeah, it's sitting on my DVD shelf. I just haven't gotten to it.
Oh, that's a fun one.
Well, we've been through that.
Well, then again, it took him 37 years to watch The Fifth Element, so
He hasn't even watched
Still
it yet,
haven't
have
watched
you?
it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man!
Yeah, why'd you think he did?
You guys know how I work. The more people tell me to do something, the more I'm like, oh, screw you guys. I don't want to do it.
Bobby, don't worry. He's just not green. That's all it is. He's not green.
He's very much not green. No, Jurassic World was really fun. Like, I enjoyed the hell out of it. And yeah, I mean, more Chris Pratt, more dinosaurs. Okay, I'm in. Like, I don't even have to see the trailer. I know it's going to be fun. Is it going to be a world-changing story? Is it going to fucking make people cry? No. Is it going to be fun? Yeah. Are dinosaurs going to eat people? Fuck yeah.
All it needs to be is a fun popcorn movie, really. That's what it needs to be.
And it has to look perfect. That's the amazing thing. Go back and watch the original Jurassic Park. Those special effects still completely hold up.
That's because it's practical effects.
Yeah, I mean, almost all of them are. But I mean, no matter how high the HD quality I've seen it, converted, whatever, like it looks gorgeous. Like that first film was so well made, it's insane.
Oh, Spielberg's a very, very talented filmmaker too. And
yeah,
like Jaded Hood says in the chat, bring back the puppets. I'm all for it. Practical effects like that. It's one of the things I loved about Star Wars. Some people hate BB-8 and I don't get it. I'm like, it's a totally practical effect. How can you hate that? It's amazing that they built him.
Oh, hell yeah. Now we have BB-9. Well, yeah, and that's one of the reasons I love when they said, that was one of my favorite things, they said JJ was coming back. I was like, that means more of the mix of digital and practical. Because that was one of the biggest problems in the prequels was trying to do everything digital, you lose that realism. And the fact that JJ is like, no, we're going to build as much of this shit as we can. We're going to make a giant desert planet out in the desert somewhere and build a bunch of people and put Simon Pegg in a suit and make him sweat to death. Yeah, and we're getting more Spielberg because, Ready Player One comes out next year.
Yeah, and as much as there's some people that seem to just loathe that movie, look, it's going to be a popcorn movie. The book, it is not a cinematic it's not a masterpiece, the book is a fun read. That's all it's intended to be. And there's some people like, oh, it's just trash. It just calls in on nostalgia and things like that. I was like, did you have fun with it? Set aside your, it's got to be a great literature piece, a masterpiece or whatever. Did you have fun with it? Yeah. Okay. Then I think it's time well worth spending.
Yeah, because I mean, it looks like it's designed to be a nostalgia piece. So if that's what it's going for, that's not a bad thing.
Look, they had me sold when Commander Shepard was in one of the scenes. I'm good.
Yeah. Get off that dick of Commander Shepard.
He's a little busy.
Well, Commander Shepard can also be female, Willie.
Oh, get off her dick, too.
Did I stutter? They have strap-ons nowadays, and it's in the future. Of course they're going to have strap-ons in the future.
Oh, that just got weird. Okay. Sailor Poland has a good point in the chat room, too. He goes, doesn't everything call on some kind of nostalgia, even if it's subtle? I think we've hit a point in our lives nowadays where something almost always has some kind of nostalgia. We're like, oh, yeah, I kind of like that.
Usually. There's very little that's purely new.
There's not a lot.
Everyone loves Easter eggs, and that's all they are.
Yeah, that's fair. It seems to be the case. Let's go with Anthony next. What do you got for your news, sir?
I had a little news story that the Star Wars movies, they made some money.
Just a little bit.
For those that aren't aware, the original buyout from Lucasfilm when Disney bought them, 2012, was $4.06 billion. And a lot of people were like, are you fucking crazy paying that much for just Lucasfilm and the movies that George Lucas owns? At this point, the Force Awakens, Star Wars Rogue One, and now with the Last Jedi earnings they've already made $4 billion back. And so people are like, well, Disney doesn't get all the box office. It's like, yeah, but that's not concluding DVD, Blu-ray, video on demand rights, and all the fucking merchandising in the world, because they put Force Awakens and Star Wars on everything. So if you just look at it that way, like, it definitely offsets. But yeah, just the sheer box office alone from those three movies has already earned Disney back what they paid for Lucasfilm. So that means everything going forward is fucking profit, which is insane. The sheer fact that they made that much money back that quick and really did it with three movies. I mean, yeah, Disney is, they're smart business. They're buying shit that they want and they're doing well with it. So it's crazy to see that it happened that quick. I don't think anybody thought it would happen within the first three films. that they would get $4 billion back. Like that's a little nuts that if that was the estimate. But I mean, now we're gonna get Star Wars films forever, and it's just it's Disney printing money going forward. Whether they end up being blocked from buying Fox or not and getting more IPs, Disney's gonna be printing money pretty much forever at this point. They are a juggernaut. That's all I had.
Yeah, between Star Wars and Marvel movies, they have all of the monies.
Pretty much.
Oh, and since
Fox
they
movies.
bought all the Fox stuff now too.
And if they get all the Fox movies,
no
I thought that was
guarantee it
already
happens yet, but
apparently Congress is looking at blocking it because it might be a partial monopoly.
could be considered a monopoly. So there's stuff there that is going to be.
Did I not
reviewed.
say that?
I
How
don't
many
remember.
episodes again? You're like, no, it's not a monopoly.
Oh,
Congress
said it.
agrees with this guy.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's something you should be happy about.
Yeah, because one, it's not a monopoly. Two, they might still fucking block it and say that it is, even if it isn't, just because they don't want the deal to happen because some other prick is putting money in their pocket. That doesn't necessarily mean it is a monopoly, even if they stop it and say that it is.
I just know that the powers that be agree with me. Oh my god, that rhymed! I didn't even mean it!
Jesus.
That might be the new episode title. Oh my god, that rhymed.
Excuse me.
Yeah, Sailor Poland's right in the chat room regarding the Marvel acquisition. Not Marvel, Fox. Not a Simpsons fan, but they better not mess with Archer.
And Archer done?
I think 2 more seasons or 1 more. I can't remember.
Well, and usually, like any big buyout deals like this, like whatever contracts are in place have to run out. They don't they can't stomp on shit. That's why after Disney bought Marvel, Dark Horse still printed Star Wars comics for, I think, 3 years because they were in the middle of like a 5-year deal with their last Lucasfilm contract. So yeah, any contracts that are in place, it's very, very unlikely that those contracts would get squashed. Usually any contracts that are in place play out and then new ones get done.
Ain't that the truth? That Jaded Hood had a good question too. He goes, "What's going to happen to that Marvel Land and Simpsons Land at Universal Studios?" Really, it depends on how long they wrote those contracts for, because you already know Disney probably wanted to move the Marvel stuff back as soon as they can.
Yeah, I know the Marvel stuff's coming back as soon as the contract runs out, and it'll be the same thing with the Hulk. If they have something in the contract that allows them to keep doing something or keep it indefinitely, then Universal will hang on to it. But if it's a time thing, then the next time it's up for renegotiation, Disney's going to tell them, well, unless you want to give us $100 billion, we're taking our IP back. So yeah, it depends on how those contracts are written.
Yeah, and I have no idea on any of that stuff. And it would be an awful large time sink, I think, to move the Simpsons stuff. So I imagine it's probably going to be, we'll write the contract out longer, keep paying us, we don't care. Because remember, all their effort right now is going into building that new Star Wars land at Disney, it seems.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens on that one. I don't know. It's a good question. We'll just have to see what happens. So, Willie, why don't you wrap us up with your news of the week?
I might have some depressing news for you guys this week. So, you guys know what swatting is, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you
man,
Bachman,
you're gonna tell this story? This story is awful.
Yeah, but I mean, it's gaming related, and people are pieces of shit.
Oh, fuck, it was gaming related?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were playing Call of Duty.
Motherfucking Call of Duty people are assholes.
Well,
God damn.
That's true also, but...
Yeah, so one individual, you know what? Fuck it. I'll say his fucking name. He's this piece of shit deserves it. Tyler Baris. I think it's how you fucking pronounce his piece of shit's name. Apparently got upset with another player on Call of Duty. I think he was streaming and whatnot, so he called to SWAT him. But the guy doing it gave out the wrong address. So he called in a SWAT on the wrong address of someone who was just didn't even know what anything is going on. Cops showed up. They said they have a hostage situation. The dad is dead, but none of that's real. So this father of 2 children He's like, sees some lights out there, opens the door, and one of the police officers shoots him, and he died. Someone who had nothing of any connection to this at all.
And this was all over $1.50 bet initially, wasn't it, or something like that?
Yep.
What the fuck?
But what really pisses me off is this fucking Tyler asshole motherfucker throwing every single slur I can at him. He has zero regrets in anything he said. After the fact, he saw what's going on. He goes on Twitter and saying, like, I didn't get anyone killed because I didn't discharge a weapon, and being a SWAT member isn't my profession. Like, that's like saying you started pushing a boulder down a hill and the boulder ran over a person. I didn't kill him, the boulder did.
How old is
he
this
pointed
moron?
the gun. Whether or not he pulled the trigger, he pointed a fucking gun at people. That's ridiculous.
Is this a stupid kid that did something, or is this a grown-ass man that did it?
25.
Oh, he should absolutely have known better. I mean...
He should absolutely be in fucking jail.
Oh,
He had a long history of this stuff, too, of swatting people and stuff like that.
I tend to agree with something Sailor Poland just said in the chat room. He said, I've been saying for years that swatting needs to be prosecuted as attempted murder instead of harassment.
Well, it's harassment when the cops do their job and no one gets fucking shot. When these jackass trigger-happy cops start fucking murdering people for no reason, then yeah, it's attempted murder.
He also claimed credit for a number of hoaxes, including the evacuation of the Dallas Convention Center earlier this month, and a bomb threat at a Florida high school in November, and the threat that caused the FCC to pause its net neutrality vote.
This kid needs to be in jail for making terroristic threats or something like that, because
no shit.
What he's doing is absolutely, completely wrong. And the fact that it happened more than once without him getting punished in some way, shape, or form is ridiculous.
How the fuck is he not in jail if he's done this more than once?
Let me reiterate my point. I have said many times before. 2 billion people.
You know, move this jackass up near the top of the list.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, if you're an asshole, I mean, you should die. If you're a fucking prick that is an asshole for no fucking reason, just because you are an asshole in life, you deserve it. I will have no remorse for you.
It sounds like he needs to be top 10 as far as I'm concerned on your list. What a piece of shit.
And also people who don't use turn signals, because fuck those pieces of shit.
Let's not equate them to the same level of this kid that then got someone killed over a stupid
They are
dog
separate. They are separate, but they're equal.
They're not equal.
They're not equal.
In my eyes. I mean, not this guy in particular for what he did, but I'm just talking about assholes. If you don't use your turn signal, you are an asshole. But if you're an asshole, you're not always not using your turn signal.
Really, I think you're just stupid.
That's
Thank
fair.
you, Naki.
And I will also state my views are of my own.
Thank
And
you.
they're
Do not
barely
represent
even
anyone
that.
but myself.
Thank you.
2 billion people.
Jeez.
Do I have the means or a way of doing it? Hell no. I'm too lazy to start this shit. Now,
God
if I
willing,
can't
you
do it all
don't.
at once, then there's no fucking point to it.
Well, because if you don't do it all at once, then you're just going to go to jail for murdering a couple people when you start. You kind of
Exactly.
need to
So
do
there's no
it.
point to that.
You kind of need to do it all at once, because then you're just a conqueror.
Exactly. Hey, it's Commander Willie here.
Oh, God. What is happening?
Commander Willie, that's
We've
what.
how's Chris say it? We've gone off the rails.
Gone off the rails just a little bit.
We were never on the rails.
That's probably also true. But before we start wrapping,
I don't like rails.
That's right. That's also true. Before we start wrapping things up, though,
Unless they're cocaine.
this is that part of the show where we like to remind folks that the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast is, in fact, part of a network of shows that you can find over at GonnaGeek.com. There are over 20 different podcasts that cover a variety of different geeky and nerdy topics. Some of them are confined down to one specific thing, like we have shows that talk about the television shows Flash and Arrow. We have other shows that talk about general geek culture. We've got a variety of different things, and each week we try to give you just a little taste of another show on the network and say, hey, maybe you should go check that out. So, Willie, what show are we talking about this week? He's got to get ready, guys.
Chris, I'm looking right at you right now. This is the time of the show. You shut your mouth hole. Dup, dup. This week, I am talking about In Defense of Episode 43, the Geek Glad Game 2017. Happy holidays! Joined by Nicole Mazza of the Terminus Podcast, we run down all the gifts the geeks and fandom communities have been given this year. Back to you, Chris.
I'm allowed to talk now.
That's your fucking cue, Chris. God damn it, Chris.
Well, thank you,
We've
Willie,
been
for
through
telling
this.
us all about episode 43 of the In Defense of cast. So go check that out for yourself. Head on over to GonnaGeek.com, click on the network button, or just go to GonnaGeek.com/network. It'll take you right there to all of the different shows there. Please feel free to check out some other great content. But looking at the time, it is time for us to start wrapping things up. And how do we do that? Go ahead, Willie.
Hold on one second. Dressman had a great idea. What they do in what's some of those games? What is one of the games where they do this stupid shit too? Or no, the awesome shit. They take all these people who like team kill and are just being assholes on the server, like in Grand Theft Auto 5 Online. If you're being an asshole, they put you in a server with just other assholes. Dressman had a good idea where we just get all the assholes together to move to a country and they have asshole-topia for all themselves. That'd be a great idea.
All right, so we're going to start wrapping up the show. And like I was saying, we do that with a little bit called What I'm Into. It's our chance to share with you guys who are watching live or listening at a later date just what kind of geeky or nerdy things we've been getting into. And yeah, it should be interesting. I'm going to kick things off because why not? I've been playing a few video games, but I've defaulted back to replaying South Park Stick of Truth for some reason, and I love that game. Just like I love the Fractured Butthole South Park game. That's also a fantastic game. But what's really been for me is I've been sick off and on through all of this stuff. So I've been spending a lot of time sleeping on my couch in between stuff. The perfect thing for that right now on the Science Channel is the Mythbusters Marathon. Every episode of Mythbusters they're doing over a span of 11 days rather. So I've been watching Mythbusters off and on because if I'm feeling crappy, it's good background noise. And if I've seen it before, I can go to sleep and not worry about it with much issue. So that's some of the stuff I'm getting into. Another thing I did do, Willie Nelson loved this movie. I picked it up for cheap. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I bought Baywatch, starring The Rock, for a whopping $3 on Vudu so that I can watch that later this week. And then I also
You're going to have a grand time.
You may have overpaid.
It came with the unrated edition also, so I'll probably just watch the unrated edition.
You're going to see some dick in Zac Efron's face.
No, I don't know if I want to watch the unrated edition. Thanks for that
It's
one.
it's Tony Shalhoub. I think it's Monk.
I get to see Monk's
from
dick
Wings.
is what you're saying.
I don't
Oh,
think it's
boy.
his dick personally. I think it's
boy.
I think it's a mannequin, but I mean, you see The Rock make fun of him for it though. It's hilarious.
Oh, it's got The Rock, so I didn't figure it would be bad. I also picked up with Google Play store credit and for half off the entire collection of Die Hard movies for like $8. So I was ready for Christmas with having Die Hard.
The Night Before is still the best Christmas movie.
Wasn't?
Yeah. Have you not seen it?
The Night Before... What? Nightmare Before
The
Christmas?
The Night Before.
It's called just The Night Before.
I have
it's
no
the new
idea.
Seth
it's
Rogen
all-
one.
Well, it's not new. I think it came out last year or something, the year before. I can't remember. But no, it has
was like
all the
4
comic book
years
people.
ago.
All of them been in comic book movies. You got Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Seth Rogen, Anthony Mackie, and you even got Zod in there, Michael Shannon. There you go.
Well, I will put it on my queue of things to watch. And I've also been playing Titanfall 2 because I still love that game, playing the Titan Frontier Defense mode. But that's pretty much what I've been getting into. Willie, what have you been getting into, sir?
Now, in the past, I've had a lot of hate for, the Nintendo mainline consoles. But what I did was I went out and got myself a 3DS. Because I started watching something on YouTube and I was like, you know what? I kind of want to play this new Pokemon game. So I will go get this. So I did. I mean, say what you will about me being a hypocrite, whatever. I still say the Switch has a multitude of problems. But I'm still enjoying the 3DS. 3D's awesome. It's the future, guys.
Yeah, it's a
It's not like
console
they're
that's
getting rid
about
of
to
it.
die off because of the Switch.
Yeah, it's the future in 1954.
Well, I would say 2005 when 3D TVs were starting, or was it 2008 or something like that? I also saw Bright, pretty damn good movie. Started watching Black Mirror. I think I'm 2 episodes in. Oh my god, that first episode that was like a Star Trek thing. Oh, that was so hard to watch.
But you mean you started watching the 4th season, or you started watching Black Mirror?
The fourth season.
Okay,
The
yeah,
new season
USS
just came out.
Callister. I watched USS Callister last night. Yeah, that was wow.
Oh, I have the heebie-jeebies. So creepy. I was like, oh, what are the implications of all this?
Yep. For anybody that doesn't know, Black Mirror was a BBC show. It's kind of like the Twilight Zone, but the idea is tech that's maybe 10 or 15 years away. So nothing in the show is completely outrageous. All of it's stuff that we're almost able to do, and that makes it so much more terrifying.
Yep. I mean, what's the law that like storage space increases exponentially by 2-fold every year?
Oh,
It's like
I
has
know
a term for it, a name.
yeah, I know the one you're talking about, but I can't remember what it's called.
It's like something law or something like that.
Moore's Law.
That's
Is it Moore's Law?
I think so.
Yeah. So it's just gonna get real, motherfuckers. Get ready for the future. Skynet. All
Yeah.
hail our Lord and Savior.
You mean Google?
Yeah. Rearrange the letters, they all fit.
Yeah.
Other than that, the hell I've been doing. Jesus Christ, I did see the flat earther guy. I ran out of gas and had to walk a shit ton of ways to go get gas in the cold off the side of the highway. I can't move my legs last couple days because of it. I overshot them. I am not a healthy man.
But you realize it, so you've got that going for you.
Yeah, but the problem is I need to get up and do something about it, and I can't get up.
We can get you. You should have gotten a rolling office chair, and you could just push yourself around.
Oh, that's something I did do. I mentioned it, I think, after the Game Awards. I did get that VR game with Justin Roiland in it. It was a very fun little adventure thing. Takes about 30 minutes to 45 minutes to go through. Very awesome VR game. This Smith and Smitherson Accounting Plus, and the logo is like cash on fire, gun, like an AK-47 shooting bullets, and all this shit, and says logo not finalized yet. But it's a pretty fun game. Hilarious. And I'm done.
Nice.
Next.
Bachman, why don't you wrap us up? What have you been getting into?
Yeah, I also started the 4th season of Black Mirror and started Ash vs. Evil Dead. They put the first 2 seasons of that on Netflix. And yeah, the Black Mirror is just so goddamn good. USS Callister is creepy as shit.
I'm gonna take a shower after this.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's the implications of the Black Mirror shows that are the craziest part. And yeah, anybody that hasn't watched it, honestly, just go back, watch all 4 seasons. There's a couple of shows that aren't like mind melting, but even the ones that aren't mind melting are still really, really good. And that way, it's a lot like the classic Twilight Zone, where it always gives you something to think about. And almost all of the Black Mirror stuff is tech based, and so yeah, it's thinking about the implications of all these tech companies and the whole idea of not whether or not should they do that, it's whether or not they can. Because lots of companies, they don't worry about whether or not they should make something; it's whether or not they can make it, and then they deal with the consequences afterwards.
What was your favorite
episode?
episode?
So far, the video game one, where they're testing the horror game, where you don't know what's going to happen, but yeah, it can make you see, like it can alter all your senses so you can see things. Yeah, that one, when you get to the very end reveal, that was a fucking crazy episode.
Yep, and also I think mine was Black Bear. I think it was called, the one where the person wakes up with amnesia and all.
Oh yeah, and they're
taking
being
pictures
hunted.
of it. Yeah. That was a good one with that twist.
That was a crazy episode. Yeah, so I'm watching season 4 of that. I watched something else the other. Oh, I watched a Rememory last night which is another. It's kind of like a movie version of a Black Mirror episode. It's damn it, Tyrion from Game of Thrones, the little dude. I can't think of the actor's name.
Oh God.
He's in it, and it's a movie about a guy who creates a memory machine where you can literally record your memories into it and then re-watch them.
And
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah,
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
And then other people can see them, and then the implications of that. Really, really fantastic film, and it's got a twist at the end that you don't really see coming. That's fucking so sad. Like, I almost rolled a tear. And Peter Dinklage acts his ass off in it. He's the main character in the movie, and he's great. Got caught up on my comics. I have been doing my daily drawings now for 364 days. Was Starmie yesterday.
Nice.
So I've got
all those
this.
days of just drawing Starmie?
Yes, 364 Starmies. So yeah, this page here, this it's the fucking last one. It's the last one, and I'm done. Yeah, so I have to figure out what I'm going to sketch today, and then I will have a finished book with 365 sketches in it. So I'm super excited about that.
I think you should sketch Willie Nelson.
No,
I was going to suggest you should sketch my ass.
I'm not good at drawing fur. I ordered a bunch of art books for Christmas, and one extra item came in with them. So now when I get sick of this dimension, I'm just gonna fucking leave because I have a goddamn portal gun, and it's awesome.
Mine's on
Is it
order. It
actually
hasn't
one of
arrived
those
yet.
ones that is it actually one of those ones that projects like a little circle image on the wall?
I didn't know it did that either. So yeah, which is awesome.
You didn't know?
No, I just thought it looked cool. But yeah, it actually the lights when they turn on, it projects a portal on the wall and makes a sound effect. Fantastic little toy. And then yeah, I only had a couple comics come in this week, so my comics reading was short, but it was time for a new trade to come in. So tomorrow for my day off, I get to read the new trade of Saga. So I'm super excited about that. And then there's been lots of league stuff going on. I'm just barely holding my lead on Willie right now. I got a 1 million point lead on Willie in the league. It's so very close. He's catching up, and goddamn Lobster's trying to pull away from all of us. He's 40 million above me now. After last week when I beat him by like $100,000, like it was the closest thing ever. And then there's been big changes in the Fantasy Comic League. They have added 3 more divisions, one of which I am now leading. So I am the head of the Danger Room, and my team is still drafting. And we got a bunch of new players, including one Chris Farrell. So how did your draft go?
I literally just finished my draft 5 minutes ago. I got my final draft pick in because our league leader is over in England, so we can't cut things off last night. So my team this time around, which I'm pretty happy with, is Peter Parker Spider-Man, the Falcon, Jane Foster Thor, and Phoenix. Nice. Yes, and with there being 4 Phoenix books coming out this month, I was like, oh, yeah, total boss move.
Wait a second. Where did... Oh, I lost it. I had mine up, and then I put it away. Guys, so far, I know I got Rogue and Kitty Pryde, and I think I'm still waiting to do my 3rd pick. But yeah, sadly, I got given my own division, and then the random draft order came up, and I'm the last to draft in my own fucking division. So I didn't get a draft until 5th place, which really sucked.
That's how you got Kitty Pryde and Rogue then, because back to back.
Yeah. So I got them back to back. So yeah, I got Kitty Pryde and Rogue. So I'm really hoping that the new No Surrender, X-Men versus Avengers storyline has a whole lot of Rogue fighting in it come January. But yeah, we're 12 picks in on the Danger Room, so getting close to being done. Hopefully we'll finish today. Yeah, it's exciting running my own division now in the Fantasy Comic Book League, and it's just been it's a fun league where no one really worries too much about being super competitive, and it's lots of conversations about comic book stuff. So I've been enjoying the hell out of it. Looking forward to this year of actually running my own division and not drawing every day.
What you like having free time?
Yeah, I'd like a little free time. That'd be nice. I got some Kickstarters.
I mean, if you won't draw my ass, I was gonna suggest maybe draw me like the George Costanza pose where he's like in his underwear, just looking back, all sprawled out a little bit.
This is not getting any better.
No, definitely.
I mean, I'm not sure who's furrier, me or him.
Ooh, that is
either way. I don't like drawing fur, so I'm not drawing either one.
You son of a bitch.
Well, guys, I think
I might just draw 2 fingers saying "Peace out" 365 and be done.
I thought it
with
was gonna be the one.
That might be that too. Yeah, 365 sketches.
Yeah,
I'm
2
out.
fingers.
Well, guys, I think that is going to wrap us up for the final installment of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast in 2017.
For good? Oh.
For good. Is that wishful thinking, Willie?
No.
No, okay.
Sounds like it.
So it is going to wrap us up for this year. Don't worry, we will be back next week because we stream live every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern over on Geeks.live on this Twitch channel. And hey, go over on Geeks.live and you can see a full schedule of events for other live streaming events on the Gonna Geek Network. I will caution you, that calendar's probably wrong today because I think most other shows took today off seeing as it's New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
But,
And a huge happy birthday to Stan the Man Lee, who turned 95 and is still alive.
happy birthday, Stan. 2017, you stay away from him. It's been a shitty year. Don't make it even worse.
No shit.
Dun, dun.
One more day
Dun,
to get
dun.
through.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, fucking funny.
So as we wrap things up, you guys have any final thoughts for us before we shut things down?
Get better, Naki.
God damn it.
What
No,
was
you're
that,
not
Willie?
funny.
I'm fucking hilarious, you motherfucker.
Yeah, he's really funny, guys. That's Willie Nelson. He's the funniest.
Oh, Chris,
I'm the funniest on the show.
Yeah, we'll go with
Yeah, right.
I'm the funniest here.
that. Sure. Bye, guys. Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.